Still don't know why that doesn't come up. Oh well. You know what? I did not install the Nvidia drivers on here. Darn it. Oh well. What are you going to do? Good evening, all. Clifford, what's going on, man? Have you tried Mate Revenge yet? That's all I want to know. Because I've been trying to install some themes here to check them out, how they look. Ooh. Ooh. So, Mate Revenge. Let's see, in the video that I made, it was using 1.4 gigabytes. Whoa, 4.7 gigabytes. Yeah, but I got a lot of stuff going on here right now. It still doesn't, you still can't tell on the system itself. I mean, it still don't feel no slowdown whether or not it's using 4.7 of memory or not, but not exactly sure what is using all the memory, but oh, Chrome. Of course Chrome would be using all the memory. What else would be using all that memory, for crying out loud? You don't hear nothing? What the heck is going on? Why can't you hear that, I wonder? Huh. Well, let's see what's going on here. Input is correct. The audio input. Chip, do you hear me? Does everybody hear me? You're using Manjaro Mate now. Is it worth the swap out? Well, to be honest with you, Greg, I have not tried out Manjaro Mate, so I don't know what the benefits are to running that, because I always, for some reason, always have trouble installing Manjaro. And for whatever reason, I mean, I tried for days to get the KDE going, and yet I just can't get it going. So I don't have a good answer for you. I know that this runs and it runs well. Carl, what's going on, man? Well, it's good. At least you can hear me. Yes, I did find the wallpaper. Where was it there? Let's see here. In the user share, and you're right, it's not showing up in the area in here. This one is because I set it, but it's not showing the actual folder. But the Easter egg is in the user share wallpapers, and there's a couple in here that, well, let's check them out one by one. So there is, let me get rid of this. There is one. And that looks, I love the, whatever you call that, speckled background. I love that. I think it looks awesome. And then we have this one, which is a red speckled background. Goes well with the red folders. And then we have the one that I used in the video that's by default. You have that one, which is really nice. I love the hover effect over the horizon there. And then we have, whoa, wow, nice. And then we have this one here, which is really nice too. I was debating whether to use this one or the silver one, but the silver one is so bright. I think it goes well. This one's really nice though, I have to say. And then we have the silver, which is really nice, bright, looks great, man. You did an awesome job, Carl, I gotta say. Ski, what's happening, brother? Good that you can hear me there, Clifford. Good that you can hear me. So anyway, the Easter eggs are in the user share wallpaper folder. No, I don't think so, Carl. I don't think so, brother. But yeah, user share wallpaper. You got the great Carl Schneider's artwork in there. You guys should check that out when you look at Monte Revenge here. But as I said, who was it? Greg? Chip? Who was it that asked about that? Greg. I don't know what the differences are between Manjaro Monte, or the advantages are compared to this. So, because I don't use Manjaro. It's been so long. It's probably been a couple months since I used Manjaro. I mean, it's got to be at least 6 months or more since I actually used it. And like I said, I've been having so much trouble with getting them installed, I kind of just went away from them. I couldn't get Manjaro KDE installed. I tried for, I think, 4 or 5 days straight. Different ways, Calamari's installer, Thus installer, everything I could think of. Re-download the image, reburn the image with different programs. It just would not install on my system. Whether it sat there and froze, whether it came up with an error, or just wouldn't boot. I gave up. I just couldn't do it. And there's other people that are perfectly happy on Manjaro, and they download it and they install it and it works fine for them, but it just doesn't work for me. So there you have it. So let's see here. Monte Tweak is installed, and I'll tell you what, I haven't tried lately the Antergos Monte version, but there were issues with that. And I don't know if it's the fact that Jody worked them all out, or if this is just playing better with Monte or what. But I haven't had no issues with this whatsoever, with the exception of a build failing for building a package out of the AUR. Other than that, I haven't had one problem with it. I mean, normally on a Mate, usually on Ubuntu, I'll have all kinds of like little crashes here and there, and you'll have the windows pop up and say, you know, this crash, send an error report, and you don't see any of that. I mean, obviously you're not going to see any of that because they have it designed in Ubuntu to do that, but there's no errors. Clifford, or I'm sorry, Vaughn, that's what I wanted. I wanted to try out Manjaro KDE because I hear all the time how good Manjaro is, and I wanted to see what they brought to the table as far as how they customize it and what it looks like. And, you know, I did a video on it, but I had to do the video on it through a live USB, not even installed on the system because I couldn't get it to install. So I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, This is using a lot of memory right now, and I know that a lot of it is Chrome, but right now I'm using 4.8 gigabytes, and a lot of it is Chrome and OBS and recording live and all that stuff. I mean, I was watching a couple videos here about. Did you guys see that the Call of Duty World War II videos are being flagged by YouTube for content and demonetized? Like, you gotta be kidding me. Carmine, what's going on, brother? I see what you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Antergos KDE is one of the smoothest things out there. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says as far as a KDE version is concerned. Antergos is smooth. That's all I'm saying. It's probably just as good or better than KDE Neon. That's what I'll say. And Antergos does a lot of customizing for you and picks some good things to give you. So where KDE Neon just gives you the bland right from the box, don't give you nothing, you put it on. So Manjaro i3. Well, I don't know about that. Ancient Aliens, huh? I never seen it. Sorry. I don't have TV though, so oh well. I have other things I gotta do, you know. Important stuff like checking out Mate Revenge. So I never did actually go into this Revenge Live USB tool. And I should have checked it out, but I never really did. Select your USB device. Let's see if I, let me see if I turn, hopefully I won't mess anything up with the live stream, but let me turn on some of my drives here and see if, oh, that's my Peppermint 7. Let's see what else I got here. Ubuntu GNOME. I might need that. Who knows? OB Revenge. I might need that too. I gotta decide which one I want to overwrite here. Antergos. Always gotta have an Antergos on hand. Ubuntu Budgie. Ubuntu Budgie's really good too. Oh well, maybe I won't try anything here. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I haven't had it for a while. I mean, you buy TV and you pay for it monthly, and actually YouTube TV, I just got an email last month that YouTube TV came to my local area, so I could get the local channels from YouTube and basically whatever they offer in TV for $39 a month, which is probably cheaper than what Comcast would charge me. But I had a free trial for a month, and I think I watched a local news broadcast for like 3 minutes, and that was it. That's the only thing I touched on the TV, on the YouTube TV, for a whole month. So I just canceled it because it doesn't turn me on. Colin, what's happening, brother? So where was I going with that? I don't remember. All right, so don't forget to check out your Easter eggs in the user share wallpaper area. All right, so what would you do here? You would select a USB device. Only USB should be listed, but please choose with care. Select your distro. Select your ISO image. That seems easy enough. Probably have to restart it now that I open them drives up. Question is, do I want to rewrite over them? I would like to try this out to see. I got a couple ISO. Oh no, I don't. Yeah, I do. Hold on. That's if I can get to them. This is one of the other bad areas of being on different. I'm not on my main system, So I don't have all my files that I would normally have. And I don't know if I have access to them, rights to them. So this is what I have downloaded right now. I wonder what I should try. I wanted to try New Runner, actually. And I did a video on New Runner before, and it was actually pretty good. And it's based on Manjaro. And lo and behold, that installs fine. And yet I can't get the Manjaro version installed. And they released a new ISO, so I wanted to try that. But to be honest with you, I haven't tried Kubuntu in probably, a year or more, as far as actually installing it and looking at it. Because every time I tried it, it was really buggy. So, oh my gosh, I'm way behind on the chat here. David, what's happening, brother? Kodi. Hey, did you guys hear about, Kodi putting DRM stuff in Kodi itself? A lot of people are upset. Let's see here. Themes. Let's see here. So under themes now, I put the ambient Mate Dark in here because I grabbed that from my Ubuntu Mate install that I have installed. And the other ones were in here, but I just installed a couple right before I started, like Plano, and I guess it doesn't have what it needs to run, but I installed a couple here like Vimix, and you need the paper icon theme, so I have to install that. And I got the AUR here, so we'll see. We'll install the paper icon theme real quick. But of course, this, see, this is, I'll be honest with you, this is the one thing that I've been encountering here lately with Mate Revenge. And I'm not sure if that's a Arch issue or a Mate Revenge issue where you see this message. Don't know exactly why it comes up. It only comes up on certain items, so I don't know if there's a problem with that specific item. Maybe that's not available, or maybe it's not there. Let's try the Git version, and we'll see. But it took me probably an hour. Don't pay anything off of the Big Daddy channel. Yeah, nobody want to pay for that, man. Nobody wants to pay for that. You kidding? But it took me an hour to build Telegram on here. I don't know why, but it just kept working and pulling in stuff and working and working. Oh my gosh. I don't know, Colin, what the issue is installing Manjaro. If I knew, I'd fix it and figure it out, but I can't figure it out, so don't ask me, man. It just fails on the install. I've had it not boot up. I've redid the ISO. I've done everything. I've been able to boot into it, and then the installer just won't open, or it'll crash right away. Calamari's was really bad, and Calamari's used to be the best installer for me as far as working, and it would just crash. I mean, it would just disappear completely, and there would be no sign of it. And then I tried the Thus installer, and I tried all kinds of different ways, and I finally did get it through to go through the install process, but it would always crash with like 80% done or something like that. So I'm not sure why it was doing that. What you mean, David? You want me to check something? What you mean, man? What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? I have, Colin, and I have, and I just, like I said, I was at a loss. So I'm using, well, I have an Nvidia, actually I have an Nvidia card, but I'm not using Nvidia right now because, stupid me, I forgot to install it before I started this. I installed Mate Revenge not last night, the night before, and did the video on it right away, and then I didn't boot in till this afternoon, and I didn't install the Nvidia driver. So right now I'm just running. I had Telegram, the Telegram package took an hour to compile. But there was a hold on. There was a it was the paper icon that just did it a few seconds ago, Dave. I don't know. It wasn't in the AUR. I don't think it was in. I don't know if it was in the local repos or if it was in the AUR that did it. I can't remember. That was like 5 minutes ago, man. How you want me to remember that? But there was a couple that I have tried over the last couple hours to install, and certain ones will say, hey, failed or failed to download, something like that. I think it was this one here, but that's in the Revenge repos, so I don't know. I mean, obviously, you're not going to be able to check that out. So that might just be a problem with this package in the Revenge repo. All right, so now that the let's try this now that the paper icon theme is installed. So there you go. Well, what's this look like now? See, that looks pretty good, I gotta say. But you know what? I like all kinds of themes. I like 3D themes, and then I like flat themes. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in. So, I don't know. All right. I got to do something. Does anybody know, do you do the same way in Arch as you do Ubuntu as far as dconf editor? Does dconf editor work the same way? Or would you do it differently using Arch? That's what I want to know. David, question. So I normally change these. I am so used to, you'll see me come over here to hit minimize, and that's because I'm used to moving my buttons around with dconf editor in Ubuntu. So do you install dconf editor and do that in Arch, or do you do it a different way? And I don't think it's installed though. So let's see here. I'll just go up to the AUR and install that one. I already have it on. What am I doing? My gosh. Okay. It's already installed. So, dconf is installed, but dconf editor is not installed. See, that's what I gotta do. Woof. What's happening, brother? I have to fix this. I'm sorry. It's driving me absolutely insane. So, of course, I'll be careful. Who wouldn't be careful? Doesn't mean I won't blow it up, but I'll be careful while I blow it up, for crying out loud. So I want this to be like this. And I don't want the menu. I just want to close and minimize. So we're going to put that there, and we'll go to the next one. And we'll do that one. And we'll do this one. I don't know if you have to do all 3 or 4 of them, but I do them all just to be safe. And that should be it. I don't think there's any more. I thought there was only 3. Yeah. Okay, so see, now I got my close and minimize. Look at that. That is so awesome. Look. Yes, watch it break live. All right, so what should I try? I guess I should try either Kubuntu or Xubuntu. There's a lot of people that have asked me about which is better, Xubuntu or Mint, XFCE. So maybe I should try to install. I don't really care for XFCE, but I don't know. All right, so we'll try it. But the question is, which one am I gonna write over? Well, that's the newer one, right? Yeah, Terrago's Peppermint. I guess Peppermint, because it will be a while till I get to that. So that one should be G. Should be. Let's see here. But you just never know, so let me be sure here. Let me be sure here. Where is my... Oh my gosh, you can't even make it bigger. The line is not there. All right. So, with all that mumbo-jumbo there... SDG Peppermint 7. Yeah, that's it. That's Peppermint 7. Okay, so that's SDG. So that's what we want. SDG. We've selected our ISO. All right, so let's hit OK. All the data on SDG will be destroyed. Are you guys ready? Okay. It couldn't have wrote that fast. There's no way. Are you serious? No way it wrote that fast. No. No, it didn't. I wonder if there's an issue with maybe it grabbing the ISO that I have. Let's see here. It may not be able to. That's why I was said about before. It's maybe a problem with. Maybe a problem with. Yeah, there's no way it wrote that quick. Maybe a problem with the permissions on that ISO. I'm not sure, but. Okay, so 22 years of Linux. I said sayonara earlier. You said sayonara to Linux? What did you put on, Wolf? Countrified, I would say KDE is I would say it's past 90% perfect. It's really good. Although I was really, really, really upset about what they did about taking the root actions out of Dolphin, because that whole that whole premise and the whole idea, and we talk about it actually in the Destination Linux podcast this week. We recorded today actually, and it'll release on Monday. But the idea of them taking out something, and the idea is they took out the root actions so that people wouldn't bork their system, and they're trying to protect you from hurting your system. But that whole premise just drives me up a wall. That's like a GNOME idea, a GNOME thought process. Let me remove all of these functions from Nautilus so that you don't hurt yourself with it. That's a Microsoft idea. Let me lock these settings down so that you don't have the ability to mess up your system. And KDE is probably it is the most customizable desktop out there. The whole idea of KDE was that you could do anything with it. And for you to then take a direction of, we're going to remove this so it doesn't hurt you, seems to be completely opposite of what they would normally do and say and their whole thought process. So I don't know where that came from. I understand that they want to help people by doing it, but I think it's a bad direction to go in. Yes, it's a bad direction, dude. It's not just a bad decision. We could sit here and argue all night long that there's different ways to do that. And, I read all of the posts and all of the blogs and anytime you even bring it up, you're looked at like you're an idiot because, there's other ways to do it. Yes, there are other ways to do it. But like I said, in KDE, you're pretty much allowed to do whatever you want to your system. You can change pretty much anything, except for now you can't run Dolphin in sudo. If that's the way I choose to do it, then that's the way I choose to do it. I don't see many brand new users coming to KDE and using it. I mean, like brand new users from Windows who have known nothing about Linux. I don't think KDE is the right distribution for them because there's a lot of settings that you can mess up in KDE. So Yep. Yeah, I don't know what I mean, like I said, I read all the posts. Whoa. What happened there? Wow. Oh, snap. That's what it says. Oh, snap. Yeah. Let's see if I can get this back now. Yeah, I gotta put that back. And I gotta put this theme back. Because this theme that I'm running right at the moment, no, let's put it back on this theme that I'm running right now, it doesn't allow you to, it doesn't give you any borders, so you can't change the size of anything. And hold on, I gotta go back to OBS and change this YouTube chat. There we go. Okay. I think we're good now. I think we're good. Okay. We're back. Okay. Where were we? Yeah, well, I mean, it's not just Country Fighter. It's not just theming and that stuff. It's Nautilus lost all kinds of features to it, and including opening his root and stuff like that. And that's where it starts. And that whole thought process is it's going down a road that's bad. It's going down a road that other people have gone down, and all you have to do is look over there and watch and see that road that they're on, and it's not the road that KDE should be on. I don't think. Not if they want to continue to be what they have been for all these years. So, Carl, can you organize the pitchforks for me, please? We'll march together, dude. Okay. Where was it? We were supposed to be looking at Mate Revenge here. We got off track, for crying out loud, because I had to install the editor, and now I got to get back to my theme. And I'm going to, well, I don't need the red icons now that I got this silver wallpaper, Carl. Pretty nice, gotta say. I wonder what the paper icons look like on this. Nah, we're just going to go with the vibrancy dark blue. Yeah, it looks better. That goes better with the wallpaper now anyway. Oh man, I can get off on some very deep rabbit holes. That's all I'm saying. All right. So like I said, I did install some themes, but they aren't the best themes. And the Plano one needs something, and I'm not even worried about what it needs. But let's see here. Let's go into the Mate tweak and mess around and see if we can break the system at all. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't like desktop icons, so I shut them off. And panel. Okay, let's see what we can break on the panel and see if we can crash the stream. So we got, now the question is, if I change that, if I change to, like, say, Cupertino, does the custom OB Revenge tweak disappear? Because I surely don't want that to disappear. I'm afraid, because like in Ubuntu Mate, if you change to a different layout and then you change something and you hit save layout, it overwrites the custom one that you had saved prior. So I don't want to switch to Cupertino and then save the layout, because it'll overwrite the OB Revenge tweak, or it may, and then I will lose it forever, and I'm not going to know how to get it back. Clifford, you're on the torches. Carl's got the pitchforks, all right? Wolf, you didn't really go back to Windows, did you? Heather, what's going on? I can't believe you went back to Windows, Wolf. That is so wrong, dude. So wrong. Which one did you go back to? 7 or 10 or what? because to be honest with you, I still have a Windows 10 dual boot for, Battlefield that I should probably be playing right now. I haven't played in like 2 weeks. And like I said, I didn't install the Nvidia driver, so I can't switch this to the GPU compositor. But that's good because I'd probably mess up the stream if I did that. 10 Enterprise, all right. To be honest with you, I think 10 is actually a decent operating system as far as using it. It's way better than 8 was. And it's more modern than 7 was. So I think usability, it works. It's just all of the spying stuff and all of everything. It's just, wow. It's way too much. I boot in, I play a game, and I boot out of it. I don't run it at all. Well, Colin, I would have been okay. I wouldn't have been okay, I guess. I still would have had the same thought process that they shouldn't remove those features from Dolphin. But it would have still been better had they done what you said and just unchecked the checkbox where you could just go in then and check a checkbox to enable the root actions. That would be at least a workaround for it. So you don't want new people to bork their system up, so you uncheck it by default. Great. I can go in and I can check it, and then I can do my thing and do whatever I want. But that's not what they did, so... It has no store. It has no telemetry. It's basically Windows 7 with a Windows 10 shell. Well, I guess that's not bad. I don't know enough about it to say, yeah, agree with you. I just know all of the telemetry stuff is really, really... they have everything. It's not like they're just tracking, minor stuff or little things here and there. This is everything, including everything you type and everything you say, recorded by the microphone, everything. Everything they have. So... what are you going to do? Like I said, I boot into it to play a game and I boot out of it. All right, so I didn't do anything with Monte Tweak. Well, let's go into the control center again and see what we got. So we got the light DM settings. And to be honest with you, I am running Ubuntu GNOME on my main system right now. And it's about time I change. But anyway, I've been running Ubuntu GNOME, and I was having problems with GDM where the whole system would lock up completely. And it ended up being where I uninstalled GDM and installed LightDM, and those problems went away. The only other issue I'm having is when I go to hit the power options, it takes about 20 seconds for it to come up because it hesitates for whatever reason. And I don't know if that's a GNOME issue or if that's a hard drive issue. It may be my solid state. Who knows? Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not my solid state. That's all I can say. All right, so the Revenge installer. So what do you think? Am I going to mess anything up if I install codecs right at the moment while recording a live stream? No, I don't think I want to do that. GNOME was unstable on your laptop, huh? Yeah, well, like I said, I had issues with it, but I narrowed it down, most of them, to GDM, and once I installed and enabled LightDM, 90% of it went away. So, Flash installer here. We have the kernel manager, the LTS, Zen. I didn't even know there was a Linux Zen. What is a Linux Zen? It is the result of a collaboration of kernel hackers to provide the best kernel for everyday systems. Isn't that what the kernel is supposed to be? The regular kernel? The best possible kernel for everyday systems? Wayland for GDM. I don't know if it was Wayland or not, dude. I thought they had made Wayland default. But when I had first installed Ubuntu GNOME a couple months ago, I installed it right before they made Wayland default. And I installed it, and it booted up fine, and then I installed my Nvidia drivers, and I booted into a black screen. every time. So I didn't know what to do then at the time, so I ended up uninstalling it. But then afterwards, I found out you could switch to light DM. But like I said, that time with Wayland, it wouldn't even boot. So I don't know if this was. Yeah, if it was on by default, then it was probably Wayland that I was working with. But either way, I had to put light DM on. So what is the Linux GR? Its kernel is focused on security. It contains the. Shouldn't that be in the regular kernel? I'm just asking these questions. I don't know, because inquiring minds want to know. I mean, shouldn't the kernel have security in it, and shouldn't the kernel be the best possible kernel for everyday systems? So why do we need these? All right, that's for people higher than me. Bootloader configuration. Okay, so you can reinstall grub from here. Generate a new grub config file. I got a question for you guys. David, maybe, if you're still here. I installed Mate Revenge, and it did not pick up my boot menu. The boot menu did not pick up my other installs on this hard drive. So I'm wondering if generating a new grub file will pick them up, or if it's just not ever going to pick them up. I'm not sure. Most of the other ones on the drive are Ubuntu based, but it should still pick them up, I believe. So there's the good options. Nvidia drivers. So OS Prober. The heck is that, David? So if I reinstall, or if I run that command to redo the grub, it should pick them up then. And this is another thing I don't get on Arch, and that's because I'm not an everyday Arch user. When I go to do the Nvidia drivers, it says before installing the Nvidia drivers, make sure the VirtualBox kernel modules have been removed. Why is that? Why do I need to remove VirtualBox drivers to install Nvidia drivers? Inquiring minds want to know. All right, I'll have to run that then and see. Inquiring minds want to know why I have to uninstall the VirtualBox drivers before I install the Nvidia drivers. So what do we got starting up here? I'm going to take Bluetooth off because I don't ever use Bluetooth. Does anybody else use Bluetooth? Because I surely don't use Bluetooth. Clipboard manager, personal file sharing, screensaver, I guess you can leave on. Update notifier, VirtualBox client. Zeitgeist, volume control. I guess that's okay. Well, no, I don't want to do that. Hey, but is that an option in other? Is that an option in other ones? Automatically remember running applications when logging out. I don't remember seeing that in other Mate. Maybe it is, and I just missed it. Wonder if that's an Arch thing, or if that's something Jody put in, or if that's just always there in Mate. Never noticed that before. Huh. All right, Qt 5 settings. So I guess these are for your Qt apps. Appearance, network connections, power management. And I have to install the Broadcom drivers in order to get my Wi-Fi working, because I don't have that working. But the stream seems to be okay without it, so that would be fine. And for some reason, and this is one thing that I was having problems with OB Revenge was, and I guess it wasn't OB Revenge's problem, it was OpenBox's problem, where I would have dual monitors, and of course every Linux operating system picks up my 32-inch monitor as my secondary monitor. So I always have to come in here and change the 32-inch to my main monitor, primary, and all that other stuff. But even as the primary monitor, things would appear halfway between each monitor. So like the shutdown dialog, when I would hit the power options and the restart options that would come up, they would appear halfway in the middle of both screens in OB Revenge. And I guess that was from something not working right in OpenBox, but it doesn't happen in Mate Revenge, so that's a good thing. All right, so those are the settings. Preferences, yeah, they're the same. What we just looked through. Personal, startup applications, preferred applications. Yeah, that's everything we saw. All right, so let's go through the software here. I installed Chromium. I installed Deconf Editor. Floating for YouTube, one of the best Chrome extensions around. That's from my Chrome. Because I just usually copy in my Chrome folder from my other installs. Let's see, Live USB Creator. Something's wrong with that Live USB Creator. I don't know why, but it won't install. Okay, I should say, maybe nothing's wrong with the Live USB Creator. Maybe something's wrong with the permissions on the file where it can't actually read it. But I did notice in this one, comparing Mate Revenge with Intergos for PayMac here, I noticed that when I boot up, it will give me the notification to say when there's updates. And every time that I have used Intergos GNOME edition, it would not show me the automatic notification saying there's updates. I would have to manually go check. Even though the setting was checked to notify me automatically and check automatically, it would never notify me. I could go days without it notifying me of an update. But with this Mate Revenge, PayMac seems to be working pretty good, and just when I booted up earlier, it popped up a notification saying there was updates. So that's definitely something that's working better. Let's see. I still think the calendar is somewhere where Mate has to improve on to come up in, like, to make it look better. Like, the calendar itself kind of looks like it's still from, if you took a picture of the calendar in the earlier versions of XFCE or the earliest versions of Mate, it would look probably the same and act probably the same. There should be some resize capabilities. There should be some a little bit bigger maybe to spread it out. And actually I have to say that I really enjoy the GNOME calendar notification area in the center, where you have your calendar, and although you can't resize it, it's a decent size already, and then you have the notifications right there. I actually enjoy having the notifications in the center, and that's where I usually put my clock. And speaking of which, I usually take this off. This task manager here. But you have to get right on it, like right on it. And you got to be like right directly on it. Yeah, I won't take it off, because then if I take it off, then I won't be able to get to. I don't have Plank set up right, so won't be able to get to my applications. But this is what Mate Revenge offers. It offers a stable system. It runs really good. It runs really smooth, and it offers the customizations like the tools, like the Revenge welcome screen here that you first see. Now, this software installation tool is, when you get this combined with the AUR, man, you start up your system and you can pretty much get your system up and running by clicking all these and installing the ones you want. And there's some pretty good apps in here. Kden Live, OBS, Audacity. I mean, this is like the cream of the crop of things you would I would normally install. So then you hit install selected packages. Well, let's install something. Now, the one thing this doesn't do is it doesn't show you what's already installed. Oh, you are Camp AMD, huh? Yeah, well, I don't know. I hear so many problems with AMD drivers, man. I don't know. You're right, Carl. There are updates while you're installing the updates. But the AMD drivers are, I mean, I hear problems, people having problems with them all the time. And, you know, when I first built my first computers, I had an AMD video card, or AMD NVIDIA card, AMD graphics card. And that's what I used. And I had so many issues in the early days of the AMD graphics card with the drivers in Windows were so buggy, it was not even funny. I mean, it was terrible. It was actually really, really terrible. And I vowed back then to never buy an AMD card again. I just said, never again will I buy an AMD card. And I have bought Nvidia cards ever since. And usually, I think the last 3 video cards that I bought were from Nvidia, from EVGA. And I had one issue with one of the cards, and they sent me a brand new card. And all I can say is most of the time I haven't had a problem with them. Now, with GNOME and Wayland and all that, yeah, I run into problems with the Nvidia card. You know, like Rob, he has the Intel. He just uses the onboard Intel graphics, so he doesn't really have any that. He has no problems installing Manjaro, and maybe that's part of the problem with installing Manjaro is the Nvidia drivers. But he has no problem installing stuff, and he has no problem with drivers issues or graphics issues. But he's running the Intel drivers, so I guess it's like a bad thing to have Nvidia sometimes. It's a good thing over. I think I have less issues with Nvidia than with AMD, but yeah, I had an 8800 GT, and it was a good card actually. It was a really good card. Dave, what's happening? All right, Spotify. Guess I should be in Media tab, huh? Well, let's see. This is live testing here. I should have did 1 or 2 at a time. I should have did more than 2 at a time. But the one thing this doesn't show you is it doesn't show you what's already installed. So when you come back in here, it doesn't show you that Spotify's already installed. Holding your coffee. You have it as a monument or what? Speaking of coffee, who said coffee? Your package has been successfully installed. So, I noticed that the brisk menu does not, it has trouble picking up stuff. Like, I had Telegram that I installed, and I have installed on the system, and it will not pick it up. No idea why. I don't know if I have to log in and log out, but it will not pick it up. So is Spotify just Spotify, or is it some other command? It's probably some other command like Spotify -music player or something that I don't know about. Let's see. If I go into it should. I mean, it should be Spotify. Huh. Open SSL. Well, let's go. Well, first we got an update. See, Carl? Carl, we got an update. This is another thing I don't know exactly what's going on with it. This is the second time this came up. Calamari's local is newer than the Revenge repo. So I guess the local version is newer than the Revenge repo version. I don't know if that matters or if that is a bad thing or a good thing or what, but yeah, that's what I thought it was, dude. What'd you say you were looking for? OpenSSL 1.0. 1.1 is installed, or does that have to be in the name? OpenSSL 1.0. Yes, it is installed. 7 minutes. Another update. It might not even take that long. But yeah, like wow. If I can get out of the way. Yeah, it's installed, but it's nowhere to be found. Yeah, it's always a trial by error, chicken. But it's not in. Oh, there it is. Look at that. I guess it just takes a second. But still, I mean, I'm going to say Telegram has been installed for over an hour, and it's not picking it up. I don't know where that is. So what do you want to know? Oh, would this be the name of what you would use? Is that what you're telling me? Yep. Spotify. But it was there. It's there in the menu. Is it somewhere on my screen that I'm not seeing? Oh, sorry. I went out of there. All right, we'll go back in. This is the learning how to type hour. Yeah. Well, it could be Spotify.desktop, I guess. Which one would it be? Spotify.desktop or Spotify? But it's in here. It's just not starting up. Wait. Where is it? It's here, but it's not here. You see it. It's here. But it's not here it's not here anywhere. Is it behind something? I don't think it's behind anything. I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing it be behind anything, but it must be just crashing. But then I should still be able to run it in the terminal, don't you think? What does that say? Required, not found. Required. Use Spotify. You leaving, Ski? Yeah, good idea, Carl. Whoa. That's what I get for, where'd it go? Did I close it already, or what? What the? Now you see what happens to me. Can you search in? Okay, filter. Yeah, no, it's not there. Not there. Nope. Or at least it's not there by Spotify anyway. But if we go under, what is it, sound and video, it should be there. And it opens up, you see it in Plank, but I don't see it anywhere on the screen. Now is it in? No, it doesn't, at least not by that name. That's what I did look for, and it was installed. Or wasn't it? Or is that something else you're talking about? LibOpenSSL 1.0. Is this the package you're looking for? Lamer, what's going on, man? So this one I need, David. Is that what you're telling me? This one here that I checked, is that the one I need? Before I hit apply, I'm going to wait for your answer. While I'm waiting, I'm going to have some coffee, if you don't mind. Because the chat's a little bit behind. I don't know. This is okay. Well, we're going to install this and see if that helps. Hopefully this won't take an hour to build like Telegram took. Whoa. One or more PGP signatures could not be verified. Okay. There's got to be a way. How do you sort by, let's see, what is that, F6? Sort by priority, nice, state command, maybe? Yeah, mate panel, PS. Yeah, it's definitely not there. Oh, there's issues with the latest Spotify. I don't know. But it's not gonna install. So maybe that's why there is issues, because this isn't gonna install, and even though Spotify installs, it needs that to run, maybe? I'm gonna guess. I don't know. I'm not the expert. So anyway, back to the software installation tool. Maybe we should try doing let's see, a Cupzilla, and we'll install a few things here, like Opera maybe, and transmission I like. Do you guys use a torrent like transmission? I have been downloading my ISO files from the torrents lately instead of direct downloads, because they say that you don't have to worry about checking the signatures then from the torrent file. So I don't know. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but that's what they tell me. I think GIMP is already, I think I already installed GIMP. Yeah, I did. VLC, I don't install VLC anymore. My go-to player is KTorrent, yeah. My go-to player is SM Player now, which that's not available in this particular thing. I think I actually installed. Did I install that already? Yeah, I already did through the AUR. But that SM Player, to me, works way better than the VLC did. So, okay, I picked my packages I'm going to install, It's going to update and it's going to install all of my packages one click. Kind of like the AUR, kind of like Software Boutique, but this is the Mate Revenge version. What if the torrent file is compromised? Well, I don't know how that works, so I don't know. I used to use Clementine Ski, and I don't use SM Player to listen to music. I usually use Google Play Music through the web browser to listen to music. But as far as video files and watching them, I will use SM Player. But as far as Clementine is concerned, I used to use Clementine. But I'm not a big playlist kind of guy. So I will pick a genre that I want to listen to and do that. So if I want to listen to like country, I'll just pick the whole genre of country of music that I have. Or if I want to listen to Christian rock, I'll pick the whole genre of that and just play it. And I know you can make playlists in Clementine, but it always seemed like it was an extra process for me to have to go create playlists in Clementine rather than just sort them by genre and play them. I mean, like, I hate to go back to Windows, but, and I hate to go back to iTunes because it was a bloated, terrible software, but you could just sort the stuff by genre and play it right there. Just double click whatever genre you wanted and it would just play. And that's why I like Gmusic browser as my go-to media player. Because I can just sort it and I don't have to worry about playlists. It's too funny, man. I don't know either, Dave. I don't know what that means. Well, like I said, I actually have YouTube Red, and I know that's not available in Canada, but I have that myself, and that takes care of the ads in YouTube where I don't have to worry about seeing ads in YouTube, and yet still allow the other players or other creators to make money by using YouTube Red, so I don't block their ads or anything. But that also gives me access to all of the music library that Google has, so I can play pretty much any song I want with the Google Play app or web page and not have to worry about it. So I have actually gone away from listening to music locally. When you have that access, you pretty much don't really need local music anymore. So, and I guess that's why all the smartphones are going away from big storage and everything, because you don't need to keep that stuff on your around so that you can actually access it. No, my monitor's not high DPI, Carl. Nope, definitely not. No, yeah, Spotify is not working properly right at the moment, right here in this thing. This icon, Carl, is awesome. I wonder where it came from. I love that icon. Yeah. Okay, so that's the software installation tool. So that then you actually get into, and one choice that I thought was funny, and it's not that it's a bad choice, but I just thought it was peculiar that the AUR was not enabled by default. And maybe that's just a personal thing, from that Jody chose to do or whatever. But I came in and enabled it, and it's not a big deal. All you gotta do is check the box. But I was just shocked that it wasn't enabled by default. So, it's not enabled by default in Tergos either. I guess I was just expecting it to be enabled, and then it wasn't. So I don't know why. Yeah, look, Google is terrible as far as mining your information, and like, their slogan went from "Don't be evil" to "Do good" or something like that. So it's like they're not really trying not to be evil anymore. They're just trying to hide it. But some of the things they offer, there's just no other alternative right now, and there's no better alternative. It's like YouTube. It'd be great to move away from YouTube and go to another video site, but you know what? The masses are not going to do that, and that's where the people are. And if you want to reach people, you got to be on YouTube. So it's a shame that's the way it is, but that's the way it is. So what do you use? What do you use? Is it Joa? Is that how you pronounce your name? What do you use to connect your iPod? Do you use a Windows thing to format it and put the music on, or do you use like Gpotter, I think it is, for Linux? Or how do you get your music on there and sync your music? Yeah, we're getting there, Shakir. We're getting there. I mean, it's funny. I mean, that to me is awesome. I mean, 1,700 subs is absolutely awesome to me. But then you look at these other people and they got millions of subscribers. It's like, oh my gosh. Come on, Carl. The first you made were total garbage. They were not. There's no way you make garbage, dude. No way. So it enables, I think the enable IUR resets to off in the build. So you have it enabled, but after the build, it's off. So you mean after you build your ISO, Dave? Oh, you have a MacBook. Okay, I got you. Yeah, you know what? I've always wanted to try a Mac, but they're just so expensive, man. I mean, like, there's just no way I'm gonna. I was always afraid that you buy this expensive equipment and then you don't like it. Maybe I wouldn't like a Mac. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't like to switch to different programs to use things. So, you know, always wanted to try a Mac because it was different, but just never had the extra money to throw out there to try it. Make money. Yeah, you got that right. I think there's a program. Well, let's see here. I'm just going to type in, see what we got here. No, there's a program called Gpotter, I think, or something. What the heck was it called? GTK Pod. And that's supposed to be able to sync your iPod. I don't know how well it works. If I remember correctly, my daughter had an iPod, and I'm pretty sure that you were able to sync it, but you weren't able to do any of the extra features that you can in iTunes, where you can, reset the device or update the software. It doesn't handle any of that stuff, but it was able to sync the audio files. For trial only, huh? Well, that's awesome. You're running Linux for the first time. What are you running? Worthless stock, huh, Dave? Worthless stock. Yeah, I never tried. VLC would be able to sync your music with that. Never actually tried that, but I did. Like I said, a while back. This was probably a year or two ago that I tried out that GTK pod, and that's pretty much one of the only ones out there that can actually do anything with it. Ubuntu Mate 1704. That's a good distro to start out with, man. Good distro. Well, this is Mate Revenge, so this is pretty much the same version of Mate that you have, only based on Arch, and it's actually pretty nice. I don't know if I would give it to a brand new user, but anybody that wanted to try Arch, I would definitely give it to them. What the heck is that, man? You want me to copy and paste a terminal command? Yep. Yep. It's well, I just, like I said, Gmusic browser works for me. And as a matter of fact, why don't I do that right now? What do we got in the regular repositories? Nothing. Okay. And Gmusic browser is like one of those ones that's so customizable too. Your Linux machine will then see your VLC on the iOS device and allow you to drop music into it. Nice. Not the red pill. What is the best Mint, 18.1 or Mate 1704? I would personally choose Mate 1704. That would be my suggestion for anybody. Mint used to be... I actually did a video against Ubuntu Mate and Linux Mint, and I think that was on 1604, 1610. And I think I said that Mint edged out Mate for a new user just because of the tools that they put in, like the update manager and stuff like that, that made it more plain. But with this latest release of Ubuntu Mate 1704, definitely the go-to thing here. All right, so what am I going to do here? I'm going to go here, and hopefully I can take this and... No, I don't have access to that to make a link. All right. Okay. So I guess I could show it my library. Let's see here. And this is Gmusic browser, and I'm going to add my music to it. Woo, not that. Where are we at? That's if it can actually read the music. There. Now it's going to pull in everything. And it has a iTunes kind of look to it. But there are so many layout. If you hit the layout button, you can change it to look like anything you want, basically. It has a make it look like section where you can make it look like different media players like iTunes or Quod Libet or Rhythmbox. And it'll just take this and make it look like that music player. And or you could make it look like iTunes. And it handles big libraries. I have over 4,000 songs and many different genres. So it handles different genres or different size libraries so well. And you can embed the artwork into the files. It has so many features to it. I don't know if it's actively developed anymore, but it's been my go-to music player forever. Yeah. Yes, it reminds me of Winamp. It's so customizable. You can make it look like pretty much anything you want. Shimmer desktop. And obviously the layout changes, so where you get to the settings changes as well. But you can put it to look like anything. And who knows if I'm allowed to actually play music, because I'll probably get flagged for I'll probably get flagged from YouTube for playing audio files. But I could play different songs, but it picks up everything, dude. And it does it without hesitation. Like a lot of players, it'll just hesitate or crash. Like Rhythmbox is big on crashing with my library. Now, I mean, I'm not the only one that has 4,000 songs either. And everybody has, well, Carmine's back. Yeah. Carmine, we talked about Clementine. It uses like a playlist type thing where you have to create playlists. And that's okay, but I don't want to have to sort playlists and make them just to play the music. I just want to open it up and click on, say, this, double click on it, and have it start playing. And okay, we'll just stop that because I'll get in trouble for that. But I mean, if I want to listen to country music, I'll just double click on the genre and I'll go. And that's what I like about it. And the fact that you can customize it to your heart's content is pretty much awesome. So it's, like I said, it's been my go-to player. Lollipop is actually pretty good, but I do have problems with it. With the size of the library, it does crash once in a while. Same thing with Cantata. Cantata is I think it's a Qt-based app from KDE, and it is a really nice player, but it has issues with the large libraries. So Hammerrock used to be one of my favorites, but they, like I said, I'm not into the playlist things anymore. So that's what I install when I install something for a music player. And then Simple Player is what I normally install for videos rather than VLC. And it's also Qt, however you want to say it, Qt. And it's been working great. I mean, everything plays, all the files, MKV files, anything you can think of will play. And it's been working great for me, I can say that. Yeah, that's what mine is. 4,500, 4,300 I think I got. And it's lower now because, like I said, I've been using Google Play Music for a while, so I haven't actually went out and purchased any music. Like I used to purchase the download music either from Amazon or from different sources, and I don't even do that anymore because I get the Google Play Music. I don't have any Frank Zappa, dude. All right, so that's yeah. We got off track, I think. Somehow we were showing off. I'm gonna quit that because that's not. Oh, that's probably because this is open yet. But we were showing off Mate Revenge, and we got off track, of course, you know. Yeah, like I said, Lollipop, there were times where I couldn't even open it. Like, I would install it on different systems, and it wouldn't even open. I don't know why. I loved Quod Libet, Carmine. I actually loved it. It handles large libraries really well. It was really nice, but there was some issue, and I can't remember what it was. There was some issue with it that it kept crashing on me, and I actually went and tried to go to the GitHub page and the help area and posted about my problems. And the guy, it was something to do with embedded artwork, okay, and it was causing Quod Libet to crash. So the guy said, hey, can you run this and do this? And he wanted me to help him out. And I was good trying to help him out, but it was so technical over my head. See you, Colin. Good having you, brother. it was so technical over my head that I was like, you know what? I just can't. I don't have the time to learn how to do what you're asking me to do. So I just, kind of left that post go and never went back. So, but it was a really, I mean, it worked for the first probably month or two that I used it, and I loved it. And then when I switched distros and I reinstalled it, then it had certain issues with my certain files that were in there, and I couldn't tell which file it was having an issue with. All Linux has issues. Yeah, you're probably right. I think all computers have issues, including Windows, Linux, Mac. They all have issues. I am from the U.S., Pennsylvania, to be exact. All right. So what didn't we look at in Mate Revenge? We looked at the brisk menu, and we did. It still will not show up Telegram. I have no idea why that is. No idea. And yet, if I go in here, this one is installed, and yet it will not find it. And this Telegram that's in the Revenge repo, that was one of the other ones that had a problem with installing where it says it couldn't download. So I installed this one, and that took, oh my gosh, that took over an hour to install, to build. I don't know why, but. Nuclear, is that like a music player? Oh, that's a nuclear bomb, you mean, for a computer? Let's see here if I can get... So, somebody explained to me. So, I know there's versions different. But you have the repositories, and this is in the extra repository. You have CodeLabet 3.81. Then you have the AUR version, the Git version. Which one is better to install? David, this is a perfect question for you. Which one is better to install, the Git version or the regular version? Eric, KD Connect actually had a, I should say not KD Connect, KD Connect indicator, which I have actually not installed on this one, but I have it installed on my Ubuntu GNOME version. They had an update where you can now, it will now find your Google contacts. When you go to send a text, you can start typing the person's name, and it will actually find the, start finding, searching through your Google contacts for the name. As far as KD Connect is on KDE, the main version, I haven't seen anything lately to say that it's been updated or not. But to be honest with you, I haven't even taken a great look at 5.9.5. I mean, I usually put out a video on every release and say, hey, this is a good release, this is a good release. And I haven't done anything with 5.9.5 because I've been running Ubuntu GNOME. I still have my KDE Neon install on the other drive, and I've updated it to 5.9.5, but I haven't run it to say whether it's any good or not, so I'm not sure, to be honest. So you have, David, you have in the repositories, you have CodeLabet. Then you go to the AUR and you have CodeLabet-Git. So which one is better to install? Is there a better one to install? Or is it just... I mean, I know there's probably a version, but this doesn't show you the... Does it show you the version number? I mean, is that the version number? Does it show you? Is there any difference? I mean, I know Git is the latest one, I guess. But is there any advantage to installing this one or installing the Git version? Talk to me. Talk to me. Because there's a lot of programs, when you go into PayMac, there's a lot of programs that have a regular version and a Git version. So which one is better to install? Again, inquiring minds want to know. I guess for right now, I'm going to install this and see, because if I do the Git version, it may take an hour to build. I've never actually connected to a remote computer through here, like FTP or anything like that. Does anybody do that? Does anybody connect to a remote server through like Mate, through Kaja or something like that through the file manager? Okay, if you're familiar with the software, you may go to Git. So it's probably better to install the regular one. All right. See, that's what I wanted to know. More safe and stable. See, that's good. I like safe and stable. So let's check out Quodlibet. Setup. Let's see. I'm going to add a directory in. Got to add my music folder. See, this is exactly what problem I was having before. It has some issue with certain ones, with certain files in my system, and I don't know why. Don't know why. It was as you can see, it's a great looking player, and it has it has some great features to it, but I just can't get it to work right anymore. I used to have it working, but I don't know why it's not working. So it won't find all of the songs. It'll find half of them, but it won't find all of my library because you only see 420 songs because it just gets hung up on, whatever file, a couple files in there, and I'm not exactly sure which files it's in there, but as you can see, there's all kinds of options with it. It's a great player, and like I said, it does handle large libraries. Comes down to how skilled you feel the developer team is, whether or not you use Git. So is like Git the testing bed version, basically? Banshee. To be honest with you, I don't think I've installed Banshee for a while, man. Once I was Banshee the one. Is it Banshee or Rhythmbox with all the plugins? I know one of them, either Banshee or Rhythmbox, and one of these I thought wasn't it Banshee that was is not being actively developed anymore. I forget. It's too many of them. But anyway, one of these, either Banshee or Rhythmbox, if I enable the plugins, it crashes completely all the time. If I disable all the plugins, then it works okay, and it works fine. Like I said, it's been a while since I used Banshee, so, well, we'll check it out. I just wish they would enable the brisk menu to be integrated into this menu. Oh, there's a couple things that need to happen, in my opinion. The brisk menu needs to be integrated so you can hover over it and have it pop open. Like right now, it's just basically being faked out into thinking there's a second menu there where the applications menu was. And the brisk menu definitely needs the super key activation. And I think it needs a favorites area. But, I mean, it's a fast, great menu. I mean, it's pretty much it pretty much has everything you would need in a menu, with the exception of the meta key and the favorites. Set up pretty good. It's a nice menu. Kodi is one of those things that I install and really never use. I don't know. I mean, I don't have a TV to, have to use Kodi on, so I just have my computer, and if I want to watch something or listen to something, I just use whatever player it is. I don't use Kodi. So, I mean, it's a nice idea. It's a good thing, but it's just not something I use every day. Winamp was really good. And the other one that I really miss using from Windows days was Media Monkey. And one time I got Media Monkey working in Wine. And I spent days trying to get, when I first switched over, I spent days trying to get Media Monkey working in Wine because I was so used to using it. It was such a great software that I even bought the updated the upgraded whatever key, and I wanted to use it, but it took so much to get it to running in Wine, and then I switched distributions and was like, I'll just find another one. And I got to say that there's a lot of good players. You got a lot of choices of music players on Linux that there's certain things I do miss about it, but I mean it worked so well, but it's not worth the hassle of trying to get it running and installed in Wine. I know, Eric, that's definitely got to be, that's high priority to me. I'm a highly keyboard-centric user. Always got my hand on the keyboard and just want to be able to hit that meta key, and it just won't work. Darn it. Yeah, stereo plugin. Well, there was Winamp was like the KDE dude for music players. I mean, it was like plug-in city. So I got to ask you, why is this taking so long to install Banshee? I mean, I know it's building it and everything, but my gosh, it shouldn't take this long to install software. See you, Carl. I probably will be gone by then. I don't know how long I'm going to be on here yet, but because, I do got to get some Battlefield in, for crying out loud. But seriously, though, does it really have to take this long to install something? Songbird, I don't know if that was forked or not. Well, there was another one that came out, and I can't remember what it was called. And it looked promising, and it had access to online accounts and stuff like that. I can't remember what it was called. It was in the news somewhere. David, I did not. It didn't have a help file to help me do that too. I know I'm not that familiar with Arch config files to start telling it to compile with all cores. I would like it to, but why doesn't it do that by default, David? And I can't remember what that other... Well, now that we got Banshee installed, let's take a look at it. Because like I said, I haven't looked at it in a while. Whoa, see? Wow. That's not cool. It probably needs the same package that Spotify needs, because it's just crashing. Let's see here. Now, some of these, they do these things, and they say, oh, we'll try this one, and, no, I would never try that. Amarok, Clementine, we talked about them. Tomahawk was one of the ones I was thinking of. That was supposed to be up and coming, and that had that was, I think that was the one that had where you could connect to different, like if you had Spotify and you had different ones that services you could connect and use your login for that. Lollipop's nice, yeah. Garth, what's going on? Yeah, you're laughing with me, huh? Mm-hmm. No, seriously, dude. And I'm not lying to you when I say it took over an hour to build Telegram. That was ridiculous. I mean, yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, they say they just throw out pretty much every. That's why I said, like, you got the a command line one. No, I mean, maybe that's somebody would like a command line song player, but no, no. I mean, really? Do we need a command line player? Spotify, XL. XL wasn't bad. Okay. But Tomahawk was, I'm pretty sure, the one I was thinking of when I was thinking of that. New Olo. Nightingale, that was another one. Wasn't Nightingale a fork of Songbird? I can't remember. But yeah, like I said, got off track again. We're supposed to be checking out Mate Revenge. Here we are talking about music players. PCs, I know what software is. Stream. Yeah. So under system tools, have you guys ever played with the system tools like Power Statistics? I have never. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what it all means, but I don't know what you would use this for. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it tells you what it's doing or whatever, but not sure what it's used for. Manage printing. I don't have a printer, so I don't need to manage printing. And that hangs up a lot of people. Craig, what's going on, man? I'm checking out Mate. Yeah, I never use that. I don't know why, what you would use it for. Still using a lot of it now. I'm up to 5.4 gigabytes of memory. I mean, I realize I'm streaming and everything, so that's part of it. And of course, I got like many Chrome windows open here, so that takes up so much stuff. What the heck is that, David? You would be the first to tell me not to just go willy-nilly typing in commands places and changing config files. The icons, are you talking about like a shortcut icon, or are you talking about the actual icons up here, up in the system tray or the indicators? Oh, that will use all of the cores, huh? Uh-huh. Let's see what you're talking about, man. Make flags equals J2. You mean this line here, David? All right, let's do it this way. Make flags. Yeah. So there are only two. So yours is a J8 and mine's a J2. But that's commented out. So why is that? So do I need to uncomment that for that to work? Do I need to uncomment that and change it to J8? Is that what you're telling me? Make a file of comments. Well, yeah, I'd have to make a file, but I'd have to, yeah. I'm not going to do it live on air, I can tell you that. All right, I'll do that then. And what you're telling me is that will take care of my compiling issues as far as, like, it won't take an hour to... it won't take an hour to compile a package and build it? Go ahead, break something. Yeah, exactly. No, Carmen, I don't need to any help in breaking stuff, dude. I can break a system all on my own. Let's see here. If you right, what do you? I guess you can't right click on these, can you? Yeah. All right. So then you can do properties, and you can change the icon. Showa. You can right click on it and hit properties, and then change the icon from here to whatever you want. Yes, you can. Nice. It's an emergency. I'm going to need some help. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it on live on air. Are you crazy? First of all, I would need to open it in root in order to copy that file anyway. So there. What else does Monte Revenge have? Log file viewer, which I've never used, has htop installed. Gparted was installed. Well, I installed half of that stuff, so. And that's all my stuff there too. It does not come with a Office program, so you have to install that. And the only thing, it only came with Google Chrome. It didn't come with Chromium or Opera or Cubzilla. Actually, Cubzilla is pretty nice. It's a quick browser, but it just doesn't have the add-ons, extensions that you come to expect with Chrome or Firefox. But if you just want to open a web page real quick, it's not a bad browser. And I don't know about you guys, but Opera used to be awesome back when they first started. Before they switched over to their base, it used to be absolutely awesome. They were like on the cutting edge of all these new features that no other browser had at the time. Like they had the magic wand for password management before anybody put out password managers. I mean, they were just absolutely awesome back then. You could customize it the way you wanted it. It was great. And then they kind of switched and broke everything, and it just switched over their core, and they just went downhill. And now they're basically a Chromium clone. I know they have some of their own extensions yet, but it's nowhere near up to what it used to be. They used to be awesome. The Arch Wiki, huh? My new best friend. Well, sometimes there's not time to read the Arch Wiki. Carmine, I actually like Vivaldi. I think that it has to come a little bit farther in terms of maturity. I think that they're on the right track as far as features and allowing you to do things and customize things. Still got to come a little bit, but they're on the right track, definitely. But man, I used to love the early versions of Opera. It's just not anymore. Pale Moon browser. I mean, that's based off of Firefox, I guess, and I mean, it's actually based off of an older version of Firefox, I believe. And I don't know. I mean, if I was going to use that, I'd probably use Firefox itself. You know, Firefox, when you install it, it's not terribly slow. It's once you add all the extensions that it's terribly slow. Chromium is not slow. It's fast. It's just it eats up resources on your system like no tomorrow. E-links, huh? Well, okay. And the only reason that I have a problem with or don't use browsers like that is because is the same reason that I don't use like it's already installed. What? Are you kidding me? What? Is this like a command line browser? Are you kidding? Hey, there it is. There's my site. It's a command line browser. Can you believe that? I don't know why you'd use that, but okay. Yeah, you're right. The engine is the key. Look, Chromium's built off of Chrome or Chromium. There's core is Chromium, whatever. I don't know. And Opera's built off of it, and all these browsers are built off of it, and that's great that they're going to it, but it's so locked down. It's so locked down to what browsers used to be, and Firefox is getting that way. Firefox is locking down everything. If you follow anything with Firefox lately, they have by November there's going to be like I think the latest count was 2,200 add-ons that are no longer going to work with Firefox because they're switching to the WebKit or something like that. I forget, but it's ridiculous. The inbuilt VPN slows down Opera on my rig. Well, I don't use any of the inbuilt VPNs on any of them. I pay for private internet access, which is to me one of the best VPNs out there. It is, I think it's $35.95 a year, $39.95 a year. But it is absolutely worth it. They got plenty of servers, plenty of good servers that don't slow you down, depending on which one you pick. Got many countries that they come out of, and as you can see, these are the countries that they have, and 3,200 servers. You can have multiple connections to it. It works on your phone. It works on Linux. It has a Linux client. Now, it obviously doesn't work with Arch because they don't have an Arch client on it, and I can't never get it to work with Arch. And they don't want to take the time to make it work with Arch, so, I don't know. But either way, on an Ubuntu-based, it's one of the few VPNs out there that have a Linux client that works well. There's one or two other ones that have Linux client, and I've tried a lot of them. AirVPN has a decent client, but there were issues with it where you can't minimize it to the system tray. You can only minimize it as an application, so it's always running. It looks like it. You can't close it out, otherwise you close the VPN out. Private internet access sits in the system tray. You're able to connect. It has a kill switch on it. It just works well. And you can make as many connections as you want to the server. Change different servers. There's no limit to that. And, hey, like I said, it's still one of the fastest VPNs out there. Sorry, Garth. It was good seeing you, though. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you guys use as far as VPNs, even if you use a VPN, but I use one because I don't want, like Comcast knowing every single website that I ever visit or wherever I go. I don't want all of my information out there. If my information is out there, it's because I put it out there, not because it's freely open to be out there. So that's why I use a VPN. Yes, Joe, it is really hard sometimes and frustrating. And David, yeah, you're right that that's why we're here. But when when you first come to Linux and you don't know what's going on, um, it's frustrating because you don't know anybody. And there's times. I mean, when I first came to Linux, there were times where I went to forums and different places, and they're really not. Some of them forums were not new user friendly. They did not want to take the time to help somebody that had no idea what they were talking about. So, how can you trust a VPN provider, though? Well, look, you can't trust anybody 100%. You have to weigh your options, and yes, private internet access could be doing something just like any other somebody could be doing something. And the thought is that's great. A privateless network. Yeah, you got that right, man. But you can never trust anybody completely. But you have to go by, reading reviews, talking to people, digging on the internet for information of how the service operates, and you make your best informed choice. So it's like private internet access. Could they be, they tout no logs. The only logs they carry are, a minor connection log that they delete in 2 days or something stupid like that. They're one of the better ones. If you look at some of the review sites for VPN, they are one of the better ones for no logs. Can you trust that 100%? Maybe not. But I'm not trying to hide the fact that I'm a international spy. Okay, I'm just trying to hide my everyday normal stuff that everybody doesn't need to see. So, if I go to drudgereport.com, not everybody needs to know I go to drudgereport.com or how many times I go to Drudge Report or if I go to Fox News or if I go to this one or if I go. People don't need to know that. My Comcast provider doesn't need to know that. So it's kind of like I picked private internet access so that I could have some type of control of who was seeing what. So now the only one that actually can see what I'm doing is private internet access. I mean, obviously there's always a fear of having a back door and everything else, but somewhere along the line you have to trust somebody with your information if you're on the internet. It's just the way it is. And it's basically comes down to who you trust. So, do you have Telegram? Are you in our Telegram group on Destination Linux? Are you in, that's what I'm mostly on. So if you, ever want to get a hold of me or anything, that's probably the best place to get a hold of me. And where do I have my... well, maybe here. I don't know. Oh, anyway, we recorded today for Destination Linux, so that will be out Monday. Oh, I don't have it on there. Okay, so I should just go to YouTube and get it. Somewhere along the line, I had a shortcut of my files. And let's see here. Where are... Will I get in trouble?
Here. And today,
will I get in trouble for playing a video of my own? Will that be not good on for YouTube? Will I get flagged? Yes, I do use Telegram. I don't know why. Because what you don't care for WhatsApp. I guess that's because of the stickers. Anyway, I found a great desire. So you're trying to get people there. Okay, well here you go. If you ever need anything or need help with anything, I'm not saying I'll be able to help you with everything because I don't know everything. But if you ever need it, you can hit me up on Telegram. You can also join the Destination Linux Telegram group if you haven't already. And I'll put that in there too. So anybody wants to join that, anybody wants to get a hold of me, that's how to do it. Well, is there anything anybody else wants to see in Mate Revenge before we close this up? Because, I mean, unless you guys have something else you want to discuss. But if there's anything else you guys want to see, let me know before we close this up, and we'll go over it real quick. But I think we've covered pretty much everything that's in here. I can't believe there's an actual command line browser. I mean, I guess I can believe it. I just don't know why anybody would use it. Why would you use a command line browser? I don't know. I'm asking you guys. All right, so where were you? It was Carmine. You were talking about Chrome extensions. I want to see you install a real desktop environment, GNOME. I'm running Ubuntu GNOME right now, Eric. So yeah, right. I don't know. I don't know why anybody would use a command line browser. But let's see. Some of the extensions that I use are the Amazon Assistant for Chrome, which is I actually installed that, but I really haven't used it, so it's probably going to be the one that I take off. Context menu search is something that I use all the time, and that enables you to like right click and have your you can add new search engines to this. So you highlight something, you can search for it, and sure, you can search Google, but you can add specific websites to this. Like, it gives you a couple that you can add, but you can actually just add your own manually, which is a nice extension. Here is coupons at checkout. And what happens with this is, and that was like that honey one that you were talking about. Honey, was it honey? Anyway, when you go to a website and you go to the checkout, I have it actually hidden, but this thing will pop up and wiggle to let you know that it sees a coupon code box. And then you click it and it will go through and refresh and try this coupon code and refresh and try this coupon code. And then it'll come up and say, hey, this is the one that can save you the most money. And it actually works pretty good. I actually saved a couple dollars buying a domain the other day with it. Enhancer for YouTube is one I use. NPass, best pass manager ever on Linux anyway. You know, there were a couple pass managers that I used LastPass before, and I went away from LastPass when they had their issues with their breaches and stuff. And even though they said they fixed them, I just went away from it. And we were using local password managers like I think I was using Sticky Password and Dashlane on Windows, and both of them are great, except for they don't work on Linux. So, and there's a forum for both of them, and both of them have a page to go there and check out and to say, hey, we want a Linux version of this, but it ain't even on the table yet. Command line is fine for the day your GUI goes poop. Yes, yeah, you're right. You're right. You know, but I mean, okay. There's places for command lines, Craig. You know what I mean? Like if I want to install a software, I could just open it up and do a, whatever to install the software command line. That's great. But a browser, that's a whole different story, man. Floating for YouTube is awesome. Absolutely awesome extension. What I usually do is I will go to YouTube and I will play a YouTube video, and then I will click the Floating for YouTube extension and it will pop onto my second monitor, and then I full screen it. So it's basically just a pop out window and it plays the whole video, and I can even close the web page out in Chrome and it'll still be over there playing the video that I want to watch, and I'll just let it play on that other screen. Will I be hopping to OBR Mate or Mate Revenge? No, I don't think so. I don't. I mean, it's really nice, but right now, I don't know. I don't know. I can't say a reason why I wouldn't. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to go back to Arch yet. Don't know that. Here is the GNOME, however you want to say it, extension that you use to install extensions in GNOME. So usually you can install them through Firefox, and I guess that's the default. But with this extension, you can do it through Chrome if you're running GNOME at the time. Google Docs, Google Keep. Here's my Google Play Music. Grammarly, because, some people need help in spelling. Hover Zoom and images. I don't know how you say that, but they are actually pretty darn good extensions, so that when you hover over an image, it pops out and gets as big as the image possibly can. So definitely a good extension to have. Here's Push Bullet, but I don't have it. I have it disabled. And for Adam, what's going on? Command line browsers have their use, especially when you need to get some info from the web from a headless server. Also, if you screw up X and need to Google a fix, it works great. I guess, yeah. I guess in certain situations and certain applications, it has its benefit. It's just, I don't think I would find a use for a command line browser. Just because everything is visually oriented in a browser. Yes, you're right, Joe. It can be annoying sometimes. I'm sorry. I have to say it can be annoying, but it's still good. But going back to the command line browser, yeah, there's applications for it, but like everything you see is picture oriented or video oriented, or so it's like it's not something that you're going to use on an everyday basis. Maybe a good thing to have installed if you need something, but I don't think it's going to be something that I would use every day. QR Anything is one I use to whatever page you're on, you can click this and we'll put up the QR image, and you can scan it with your phone and basically send that web page to your phone. There's other ways to get web pages to your phone, but that's an easy one. And Push Bullet, like I said, I have that installed, but I had disabled it because it is super annoying sometimes when you're trying to get stuff done and every single message that's on your phone pops through your browser. That's pretty annoying sometimes. Pocket, awesome extension. Pocket is one of those things that is like a to-do list that is a black hole. Every time I put something in Pocket, I save it to Pocket because I want it there, because I want to use it and I want to look at it again. And I eventually never go back to using it. I mean, I've had things in Pocket for a year and still haven't gone back and actually looked at it because I just don't. It's almost like when it goes in there, it's like a black hole. It just disappears. It's still there, but nice. No real day-to-day use for it, yes, but it saved my butt in the past. Yeah, it can. Something like that is useful if you're going to use it that way. Send page, I use that to. It's one of the only extensions out there that actually works with Thunderbird to, to email the page to somebody. There are other ones that work with like Gmail and the web browser things, but an external program, SendPage, is probably the only one that works with Thunderbird that I've found. Speed Dial 2 is the best extension, in my opinion, for speed dial pages. It is, and this is what I'm using. You can customize the background. You can customize the icons. You set whatever you want here. You can do categories. Like I have one for just deal sites for like sales and stuff like that. Gaming. So I got speed and IP. So here's where I can check my IPs. And this is like, it's now the regular free version is free, but in order to use the sync, which is a great feature, it costs you, I think, $4 or something like that, $5, and one-time fee, and then you can sync your tabs and your speed dials online. That way you can just sign in, and as soon as you sign in, they all come back, and it's absolutely awesome. I've tried every new tab page extension out there, every single one of them, and this is the best one. Just saying. Tabs to front is something that I have to have, and I have no idea why it's not built into the browser already, but it isn't. And you got to have an extension for it, which is ridiculous. But all it does is when you open a new tab, it brings it up immediately rather than making it a background tab. By default, every tab that you open is in the background for whatever reason. I don't know why. The Great Suspender's another great extension for it. Actually suspends tabs. Like if you have 6 tabs open, it will suspend them after a certain amount of time to free up resources. Great extension, gotta say. And then you can whitelist certain ones if you don't want them to go into suspend. You can do that. Tiny Eye image search is one I use to reverse search images. So you can click on an image and search for a bigger size of that one. TubeBuddies for YouTube that I use. Tweet a link, that works pretty good. uBlock Origin is probably the best blocker out there. Visor I installed to try to get my Android phone, on the Linux desktop, but I never got it. I never was able to get it to work. Never worked really well. So, and I don't know why I kept it there. I just never disabled it, I guess. Zoom is the video software we use for Destination Linux, so you can schedule meetings right from here, and that's my extensions. Yeah, it should be an option right up front. Yep. Well, I used to use Speed Dial 2, David, but until I found, they're all different. They're all named similar. So if I'm thinking of the same one you're thinking of, or are you talking about the one that I'm using? Because they're all named like similar, like Speed Dial 2. Is this Speed Dial 2? Is that what it is? Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it's a must-have. It's the best one. Now there's another one that's called Speed Dial something 2 or something like that, and similar to this, but it ain't near as good. YouTube High Definition, that one works it doesn't work as reliably as it used to for me sometimes. Like a lot of times it won't quite put the video into the high resolution. And I don't know if that has to do with like the 4K options anymore or not, but sometimes it doesn't work all that well. And I think that's why I had installed YouTube Enhancer. Enhancer for YouTube. Because this has a lot of features to it too. Just like there was another one called Magic Actions for YouTube. And that one was really good, had a ton of options to it. But every time YouTube would change some feature, it would break and it wouldn't work right. Enhancer for YouTube actually works really well. And it works just as good as YouTube High Definition did. So I've been using that. You did. You got here just in time, dude. But we're finished now, dude. So if you ask me what my top 5 extensions would have to be, it would have to be NPass, Speed Dial 2, the Great Suspender, uBlock, and Enhancer for YouTube. Them you got to have. I mean, the other ones are really good. Hover zoom and images, they're really good, but you got to have certain ones. And those are the ones that I would say I have to have. I mean, NPass is just, it's a, you got to have it. Like you said, David, it's a must have. So there you go. There's my extensions. Now, Firefox is a whole different story. I haven't used Firefox lately to see what the new extensions are. So, Privacy Badger. I had tried Privacy Badger, but I haven't tried it lately. So I can't tell you how well it works. Because like I said, I haven't tried it recently. Probably been a few months since I've tried it, so I don't know if they've had updates since then. But I have tried them all, from Ghostery to Blur to all the different ones like Privacy Badger, all of the different security ones that are out there, and they all work similar. And the Disconnect is another one that is a privacy one, and they all work similar. But going back to checking out who they're made by and stuff, I know Ghostery has issues with the company that owns them, and it's not the greatest as far as they're tracking you just as much as it's almost like the what Eric had said. How do you know who's tracking you? You trust somebody, and they seem to be tracking you more than the other people are tracking you. But I may have to. Is there an extension for Privacy Badger? Is there a Chrome extension, or is that just for Firefox? I might have to check Privacy Badger out again, because yeah. The problem with installing these is you almost have to disable the other ones that you have, because then when you run into is like I had Disconnect installed, and I had Ghostery installed, and I had uBlock installed, and it was you're going 3 different places to try to allow certain sites to allow only what you want in. Because normally what I'll usually do is I will put it on the highest setting on whatever it is, so that it blocks everything and only allows what I want it to allow in. But then, like I said, then you run into the whole, well, you go to this one and allow it, and then you go to this one and allow it, and it just gets all goofed up. So thanks for installing me. Oh my gosh, a Tor. I will sit up here in your browser and watch for spying ads and sneaky trackers that are recording what you do online. That is so great. I will put a stop to it. If you click on my icon, you can see the list of potential trackers. If the slider is red, it means I have blocked that tracker entirely. If the slider is yellow, that means I have partially blocked the tracker. If the slider is green, means I can't tell if this domain is tracking you yet. The first time you click my icon, you see all kinds of trackers. that all the trackers are green. Don't worry, I don't block anything straight away. I'm different from other ad blocking software. Instead of knowing a list of things to block, I learn what to block as you browse. If I'm not blocking anything yet, try browsing around to 4 or 5 different websites. I should start blocking common trackers after that. Huh. I learn as I go, so the longer you use me, the better I will get at protecting you from sneaky trackers. So you can then... Whoa. Another all snap. Look at that. That is so awesome. Yeah. Okay, so if you think that I've made a wrong decision, you can move the slider. If you change the setting I made, you can always put it back under my control by clicking the undo arrow. Disable privacy badger for this site. If I'm breaking a page, please let my developers know so they can fix the problem. If you want to change other settings, you click the gear icon. It looks pretty good, man. It's been, like I said, it's been a while since I've used it. So, well, let's go somewhere. And let me get this live chat back here, because for some reason it's not working right. And I actually have 2 windows of the chat. One so it can be seen on the screen, and one so that one so that I can actually read it, because I have it recorded over on another one. Let's see here. Okay, so if you guys, I don't know who reads RSS feeds, but, you know, I know everybody has their own pick on RSS feeds, but hold on, let me go back through here. Speed dial 2 is just for bookmarks. It is not really for bookmarks. And you can use it for that, I guess, but it's more for quick access to sites. It has bookmarks, but like a visual quick access rather than a listing of them. Agreement, Arch KDE. Yeah, that's right. Are we done? Just got here. Chrome. My only privacy steps are redeemed as blacklisting privacy badger for U.S. cookies. So you don't use a VPN, Fratum? Carl, do you not get upset at Pushbullet for being so stinking annoying sometimes? No, I've not needed one. Okay. Well, like I said, I don't use it for the purpose of hiding where I'm going to the outside world. I use it for hiding where I'm going from my internet provider. So anyway, if you guys are into RSS readers, InnoReader is my favorite RSS reader, and it is awesome. I know there's many out there, and I used to like having a local RSS reader, but when you distro hop as much as I do and you change around things and stuff, having to keep that listing up and pulling in, and I would try new RSS readers all the time. I would flip from this one to this one because none of them have all of the best features in them. And I just ended up, you know what, this is ridiculous. I went on the search for the best online reader, and you know, there's all kinds of ones out there. And Feedly is probably one of the most popular ones, but InnoReader has to be the best and most customizable one out there. Absolutely awesome. So this is where I go for all of my news. All right, so where were we at? Us distro hoppers like to live in the cloud. You know, Carl, if I could figure out the best way to keep my documents and my stuff in the cloud, I would. Now, I purchased storage space on Google Drive, and I have InSync, or I usually have InSync installed. But it's just not working the way I wanted it to. Like, it's just not, like, the idea was to have the stuff in the cloud, because I have like a 400 or 500 gigabyte solid state that I use for my home folder. And it's probably 400 of that is full of stuff. And I don't really need it all. Like, it's just stuff I have hanging around that I haven't deleted. But I have it filled with stuff. And when I distro hop, I need to, when I switch from, say, KDE to Mate, I need to completely blow up the home folder so that I don't pick up any remaining things from the settings. Now, if I'm switching from, if I'm reinstalling, say, I got Ubuntu GNOME installed, I can just install Ubuntu GNOME again and point to the home folder, and everything works perfect because it's the same. But if they're using different libraries and different pieces, then I have to blow up the home folder and pave over it, and then it's make sure I got everything backed up, and then back it up with, I usually use GRSync to sync it to another drive, and then I'll sync it back. And the idea was to put it on the cloud and have it there, but still, I mean, even that is, you got to upload everything, and then, you know, it takes forever to upload all the, I mean, all the files that I have in my home folder. I was uploading for 3 days straight and still didn't even touch the files that were there. And by the time, it would take me a month to get it up, actually all uploaded. And you know, if I reinstalled and I'd have to copy it all back, it would probably take me a while to download it all too. So it's like, cloud storage is great, except half of your files are in the cloud and half of them are on the local drive, and it just gets confusing sometimes. And there's just no perfect system to me for that in that area. I wish there was. I wish there was a way I could distro hop and not have to worry about having my files in my home folders, because I have, I mean, like, even I have it set up so complex. Like, for OBS, I have all of my settings and all of my profiles in there that I switch from Destination Linux settings to the Big Daddy channel settings to Big Daddy Live channel settings, and different artwork in each one. And, you know, they are all based on having the pictures where they're supposed to be in the right pictures folder. So if I don't have everything right there, it doesn't work well. So yeah, there should be a better way to distro hop. Somebody needs to come up with a better way to distro hop. Man. But anyway, InnoReader. So here are my tech blogs that I look at. Well, let's look at the Linux blogs that I have. Well, they're not all blogs. They're all different sites, but you can view them in card view. You can view them in list. You can do expanded view, column view, and I switch. Like, here's the card view again and the magazine view, which is nice. And I switch between views. Like, I'll go from the magazine view to the card view, depending on, like, this month I'm on the card view kick, because I can scroll and not have to worry about it being on red. And I guess you can set it to do that in the for the magazine view, but certain times I'll, like, this works better in certain sites. Like, for example, like Full Circle Magazine doesn't work well in cards because you don't really have any pictures. But if you go to OMG Ubuntu, everything has a picture for it. So sites like Phoronix, you know, you can get an idea or a feel of what it's about by the picture itself. So InnoReader is awesome. And like I said, I've tried Feedly, I've tried Google Reader when it was alive, the old Reader, all kinds of different ones, and I've come to the conclusion that this one is the best for me. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but for me, it's good. Well, here's the thing with the USB drives. I mean, one, they're not fast. They don't copy fast, and like I said, not only is it 400 or so, 450 gigabytes of stuff, but a lot of it is icon files and theme folders, and those are like thousands of little tiny little items, and they take forever to copy. Even on an SSD, they take forever to copy. And that's just it's a pain. Sorry, it's a pain. Did I say that too loud? Anyway, we were checking out Privacy Badger. So here is the detection. Detected one potential tracker on this page. So where is the potential tracker? They're all green. Where is the potential tracker? I guess this is the potential tracker. Domains below don't appear to be tracking you. Now, see, now why is that? Well, maybe because I have uBlock on. I have uBlock Origin on. Okay, so that may be part of the issue. And maybe I can disable that. But you look at these here, and you look at Facebook.com, and no tracking for Facebook.com. Are you kidding me? I mean, Google Analytics. So this is either not working properly or it's conflicting with uBlock Origin. So let me disable uBlock Origin. And then we'll go back into Privacy Badger and see. Yeah, see, I don't get that. Okay, so now, see, now these are up here, and the domains below don't appear to be tracking you. So I guess the domains up here are, and the domains down here are not. Although I would think that some of them, like the Google ad services, are somewhat tracking you. And allow Google, just double click. So by default, why would it allow it by default? I thought it was supposed to show count of blocked items, replace social widgets, prevent websites from local leaking IP address. Yeah, it would. A local server, but you still have the issue of copying files too, except if they yeah, see, I don't understand why it would be allowed by default. If it's telling you that they're trackers, is there a setting that I'm missing that you should be able to set it to? I thought it was supposed to block the trackers and then allow you to turn it off, but it's actually not blocking anything. It's just telling you that these are potential trackers. So not sure what the deal is where. So let's go somewhere and see what it says. Okay, so it is blocking something. So maybe it's not blocking third-party sites through the first-party site that you're on. I don't know why all of these would be allowed though. Like in uBlock Origin, pretty much most of the things are blocked unless you tell it to allow it. And that's the way I usually like to handle it. And then I'll go in and fix the sites that I want to allow so that I don't have to worry about it. It's a detailed little add-on extension. I'm just not sure if it's actually working or not, or if it's working the way it's supposed to. Ooh, blocked. Well, I do have to go to these sites, like it did tell me, and I wasn't following the directions. It did tell me to go to different sites, and it would learn on its own what to block. But while I'm going to these sites, potentially allowing stuff to go. See, now it's starting to block certain stuff. Not sure which one it's picking, but 4:30 in the morning. See you, man. Yeah, you better. As a matter of fact, what time is it? It is 11:30. I should be calling it a night myself here. But we're checking out Privacy Badger. How can you call it a night? Darn it. It's not blocking anything on KDE. All right, let's go to Phoronix and see what it's going to block there. Ooh, see? It's starting to block Facebook and double click. And I guess it learns as it, I guess it's true. It does learn as it goes. You just don't quite have complete control with it as you do with other ones. So it actually works pretty good. You just, like I said, you don't have the complete control to say block everything unless I allow it. Because it would be very bad to have to go through every one of these and click block. It should be a complete setting to say block all and let me allow some. 4:30 in the morning there too? My gosh. See you, Craig. Be safe, brother. Well, I'll tell you what. I will run it for a while and see how well it works, and I will let you guys know. I'm thinking about, I don't know what you guys think, but I'm thinking about trying to do a steady live stream Friday nights. I know there are some people, and I know it's late for some of you guys, and there was a couple other people that had said, hey, can you do it earlier? And maybe sometime I'll do an earlier live show. But for right now, I was thinking about doing the same thing that I did tonight, where I would install a distro and check it out, and we would go through it. So if you guys are up for that, let me know, and I can, like I said, I don't know if I want to commit to every single Friday night, but I would be glad to do it on most Friday nights. So I had Mate Revenge installed, so I figured we'd do that tonight. I have KDE Neon installed. I have Ubuntu Budgie installed, which I did, I think, 2 weeks ago. Or last week or 2 weeks ago. And I have Ubuntu Mate installed on another drive. So I may install something new, and maybe next Friday, we'll do another one on a different distro. And if you guys got any suggestions on what distros to check out, install, and do a live stream from, just let me know. You can hit me up on the YouTube channel. You can hit me up on email. And the email is bigdaddyontech@gmail.com. Or you can hit me up on Telegram. And just let me know what you guys think and what you guys would like to see in the future. But I think for now, I'm going to call it a night. And who knows, maybe I'll go play some Battlefield. So if anybody's interested in playing Battlefield, I might play a little bit. So I appreciate everybody stopping by. And Carl, David, everybody, have a good night. And maybe we'll see you next week.